Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.
Dobry wieczór wszystkim. Witam Was na 438 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Niedzielę 7 lutego 2021 roku. Tematem jest druga część 365 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy i tłumaczenie na dzisiaj to jest od 2 godzin 28 do 2:31, od 2:44 do 3 godzin 4 minut, 3 godzin i od 4 minut do 3:17, od 3:39 do 3:49, od 3:59 do 4:12 i od 4:15 do 4:30. Tak więc dzisiaj mamy takie trochę pocięte kawałki, ale to są krótkie fragmenty. Krótkie fragmenty nietłumaczone. Tak więc zapraszam do wysłuchania, obejrzenia. A po warsztacie, kto będzie chciał zabrać głos, to zapraszam również do zadawania pytań.
Kindly, I would like to ask Mr. Keshe to enlighten us more about our beauty, Mitra, the soul, which will help us to elevate. And if he can tell us about what will happen after 21st March with the Mitra cycle. I'm interested on knowing because I'm in love with the light and love of Mitra. Thank you.
In time, mankind will confirm the presence of Mitra. It is not for us to give the position, the place, and the soul. In time, mankind will mature to recognize Mitra by her presence, not for us to tell who it is. In time, as I said many times, the members of Universal Council will be seen by the light of their souls and servitude, and not by the dimension of their physicality. This is the attribute of Mitra. Those who are present and understand her existence and the presence will appreciate and will come to serve her wish. That is to generate and create a new cycle of life that is peaceful and that it shares equally amongst the whole across the universe. Mitra is a symbolic structure of creation and created by the Creator. As Creator created Mitra to have a one to love, Mitra created the children of the creation and the Creator himself to become the citizen of the universe. In a way, Mitra is part of the structure of the change which has been set by the Creator to change the totality, to bring in balance the future of citizens of the universe, not only on this planet. But the beauty of it is, the earth is so beautiful that every birth needs a place to be manifested from. And earth is a beautiful place to be, with all the beauty it has. Its creatures, its plants, its structure, its valleys and the mountains. And then mankind will come to recognize Mitra by her presence and not by the talk and indication. It's the duty of the soul of the man to recognize the soul of Mitra in her presence, and not for us to indicate. There is no Mehdi and there is no return of Messiah and the Christ. It's the presence of the existence of the true soul of the creation of the Creator. In time, mankind will become mature to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would you like to take a break, Mr. Keshe, or would you like
nice.
to carry on?
Yes.
Back to the 365th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. How would you like to proceed, Mr. Keshe?
We carry on the same. Knowledge
Okay.
seekers had the time to reflect And we extend this kind of what I call sharing into the future teachings. In a way, we used to put answer and questions. Now we open that you answer your own questions. How the man evolves is a process of elevation, is a process of self-search into understanding. We have given you, as we said, the universal system. We have given you the cup of life for you to test and to see and to understand. As we said in many other teaching, this week, 24th of January, was the anniversary of the gift of one cup, one life to the nation of China, which now through the same process has become a gift to humanity. It is getting used by every knowledge seekers and those who understand the knowledge across the world. 25th of January last year, we gifted the cup of life, one cup, one life, to the nation of China in their crisis with Corona. And then we saw, as it traveled to Iran, the Keshe Foundation brought the technology into the arena, and now across the world, in Europe, in America, in South America, in the jungles of Amazon, and in every corner of this planet, is getting used by the knowledge seekers or those who serve. As we were speaking with the minister of a government in the past few days, I explained to him that is getting even used in your churches. And this is the extent that through it we elevate the soul of the man. In a way, cup of life is a cup of the soul, which if you know how to make it and how to use it, you can use in a combination of different ways to create the conditions for the souls of the others to be elevated. If you expect everything you do to benefit you, you still have not reached the point of maturity of the creation. As I said once, we don't cook to serve ourselves. We cook for the others not to stay hungry, as we know how to feed ourselves. In so many ways, we have entered, all of us now, across this planet with lockdowns and staying home and disruption one way or another to our cycle of life because of this virus, which all of us, we will experiment and experience in the universe. Even the soul of the man is not immune to packs of energies. So you have to understand, in the process of the life and travel in the span of universe, you still have to watch that you do not receive something which you are not, or you would not like to receive, that becomes a virus even to your soul. This comes again with what we call this understanding of the structure of the creation of the soul of the man in the dimension of the creation. Don't forget, the way we can be enlightened by the souls of the Creator and the fields from His beauty, the same fields in the different strength and dimension can become the virus to us, or energies which we do not need, that in the presence of we become part of. It's interesting how one very weak pack of energy has become to bring the whole of humanity more or less to a standstill, or the thinking of one single energy pack has brought man to this. And what, as I said before, what would man do when he becomes a full-time traveler of space through dimension of physicality and the soul? And how would we handle it, except to understand the truth about their existence and the systematic and established use of technology and knowledge how to handle it. Don't forget, in so many ways, we have taught you the space technology in the true essence of the technology. It's you who have to decipher it to reach maturity. When you have a virus in the space, how do you extract it from your body? Think in a very simple way. The creation of Eve and the existence of Adam. That, if you understand it, will give you the key how to exist and live in the depth of the universe in any dimension, and not to be worried by the dimension of existence. And don't forget what I just said to the gentleman. What you want to give and how you give, you can create a dimension of the, what I call, smaller dimension of what we call the Eve, or we call electron. That allows you to exist and live in the span of universe, and no virus, be it of the soul or the physicality, will ever touch the man. We've lost millions in the past year through the creation and manifestation of what we call a normal infection. And God help humanity if it does not know how to protect itself in the depth of the space from these viruses, which are much more stronger and have a small link of common denominator energy field with the soul cell of the man. You got to realize, in the dimension of the viruses of the soul, that energy will change the dimension of the physicality too. It's double whammy, as we call it. As you feed the man through the soul of the man, when these viruses attach themselves to the soul of the man, then physicality has to change itself too. And this is one of the biggest fear of the man, what you call about the change in RNA and DNA. And in space, you should be knowledgeable enough not to allow this to exist or to take shape and event. Anybody
Mr.
else?
Keshe, hi. Mr. Keshe, hi, it's Dean here from the UK. Can I ask you a quick question, please?
Do you want to ask a question or share knowledge?
I suppose a bit of both. My question would be, Mr. Keshe, in the non-dimension of the soul, how does a virus attach to the soul? How does that actually become?
Soul has no dimension and no physical dimension, but he has a field dimension. It's the essence. So in that essence, it still has a strength, and that strength is immeasurable. Feel the strength of the magnetic field spectrum of the creation. So it's like everything else. This is what, if you have not understood, even from the intro of this teaching, maybe you can be much more clearer, is that the soul of the man in the body of the man you cannot see. But when he finds in space and time and position in the universe, it manifests itself as a star. It depends in what media you allow it to manifest itself.
So would the virus attract to the fields of the actual transition when it's actually in transition, soul,
At
or
any
would it be when it
point,
manifests?
at any point, depends if you find a matching strength.
And are all viruses giving or receiving? Do they have magnetical and gravitational influences on the soul?
As we said in many part of the teachings, while you're virus, you can be virus to something else too. It depends what we establish on the strength field soul. As you are attached or attacked or connected to, let's say, a flu virus that is attacking you or is connecting to you, you can become a virus to somebody else's strength in another dimension. Because by receiving the strength field of that virus, now your position has changed and now you become a virus to something else. Or if you are not a virus, you, by losing energy, you become the strength of somebody else. You've seen this clearly in your work. When you make ganses, you leave the ganses on the shelf and you see how they change color. Because they continuously interact, and then you see they go back to the original color. Because at points they were the givers and at points they become the receiver. When you make your gases, have a look at them. See how they change color over time. They go from brown to black, and then they go to green, and they go back to brown and back to where they started in red or whatever. If you take what they call the cups of life you produce and put a voltmeter on it, you will see it start at sometimes 1.2 volts and it comes down to 0, it goes to negative and it comes back again to 1.2. It's a sinusoidal. Now it's a square, depends how you make your things. And this is the way the universe works. The maturity comes to be a giver and a taker at the same time, but the strength which guarantees your existence and the others. The cycle of the soul of the man is in the cycle of your cups. Everything is in there for you to see. You connect a little load and watch it drops. 1.2, 1.1, it comes to 0 and you think you go flat. And you see, oh my God, it's going down -1, -2. And it goes to -1.2 and then it builds back up and it becomes positive. Because as much as it gives energy to outside, then at a point comes this gravitational wants to create balance. It starts taking, it starts giving in one or the other. So in that process of going up and down, if it feels matches another cup which is next door to it or in another room and takes energy with it, you might see your curve maybe opens up slightly, or the frequency changes slightly, or your amplitude changes. And you can do this very, very clearly. If you've never done these experiments, just do it. Just take a gas which you're producing system, or you have in there producing gas, or in your gases, and measure the voltage and see how it drops, and then what it rises to, and then bring another cup with another gas next to it and see how the whole thing changes with one coming close to, which can only be by field interaction.
I've noticed this, Mr. Keshe, that just by, you've said this before, just by moving the ganses slightly, just moving the fields around, or just physically moving the GANs, it does create completely different environments and conditions, sometimes very subtle and sometimes quite large interactions of the fields. And I've noticed it also causes emotional changes just by a slight shifting of the field. It's definitely quite a how can I say, a very
subtle
interactive
change.
A subtle change, yeah.
We've done many experiments with this over years by just changing the environment and see how people's behavior changes. And it's amazing. You don't do anything. It's just that their soul takes without their physicality being aware of.
So what you say take, Mr. Keshe, they don't, it's not receiving, they're taking. Is that we're taking?
In a way, there are two ways you can receive, and you can take by permission. In a way, you accommodate the others by what you're receiving from. You cannot just go and grab, it's mine. And everything is built in a different structure.
So, Mr. Keshe, how will, if someone enters the womb now, will they experience another dimension, as in a universal travel, or weightlessness, or in a physical body? How will they feel this new condition?
These are to enhance the body. The flight version system of it, we will show very soon. And with it comes the energy cycle of it. And in so many ways, we can combine everything in one system that not only flies, it creates energy, and it creates what we call the food and everything else. That phase, hopefully by the time we get the results from the doctors back, we can interact or interconnect or rebuild inside. That if we succeed, hopefully the way we have seen and we have achieved reduction in weight in the other parallel systems, we will show the first flying object without any propulsion in a very short time. Because we have achieved, as you remember, a unit of 11.9 kilogram to 8.4, and then we've seen one occasion of 5, and we can reduce it to the point that the objects will lift. It won't levitate because it's not that way. It will lift in positioning itself magnetically and gravitationally. And the only problem has been with most of the system, you can levitate it, but then we have to create a field flow for directional motion and height positioning. And this is what will be completely as part of. And the system is controlled, unmanned by the soul of the man, no electronic connection as such, because it doesn't work. We cannot use remote controls in the enhancement units.
So there's a big soul connection. It's the soul that's going to operate and really be the information center for this. For the
Yes.
unit.
Yes. Yes.
And I suppose, Mr. Keshe, that creating the envelope and the delivery of the unit should be fairly simple. If you
What do you
can go to that position. Well, if you create the envelope to actually deliver the physical shell around the planet, I know your technology has the ability to.
We can do a lot of things. Then I become a magician.
I know.
Become a magician. Well, Keshe Foundation has taken several steps in the past few days and weeks into delivery of the space technology of the Keshe Foundation. Our priority is not at the moment the farming or medical or other parts. The Keshe Foundation priority at the moment sits with the flight system, in the flight system, or systems which can allow the soul of the man to take flight. And we are in that process very, very directly online, because you got to understand, for years I carried this knowledge, even when we developed the technology in Tehran. And the Iranian government established a lab in Sharif Tehran University Research Center, and they said, that's it. They set everything in the room, and they gave me the key, and they say goodbye. So I always worked in a, what they call, singularity. This is the first time we are sharing knowledge with the knowledge seekers, and now we're expanding the research side with the people we trust and we develop. The research team of the Keshe Foundation is expanding very rapidly, but only with the people we have trust in, because we've been betrayed by many people. The knowledge has been taken out, photographed irresponsibly. We stop all these things, and in so many ways, once we develop the technology, we show the technology in a very different way. And now it's not only one, now it's a team of people who start understanding and sharing, and we are adding different groups from different nationalities who they have been correct in conduct. We this week added a team of some, I think it's about 23 knowledge seekers as researchers into the Keshe Foundation team of researchers. And we have to see how this interaction comes, because we have started sharing the knowledge across the planet and not to stay in one place. And we have to see in step by step how each group responds and how they move around in delivering the technology. Before, I used to teach single individuals, and every one of them betrayed the foundation, from doctors to people who were this energy and the rest of it. This way now we teach collectively. And a new group has joined the Keshe Foundation as of recent time, and we have to see how we deal with them, and then extend the work of the knowledge seekers in research and development.
I wish, Mr. Keshe, that those new groups become the light of the soul and give to humanity the knowledge that you've given to them, that they can then share with everybody else. And this knowledge can be released to humanity to aid its enlightenment of the soul.
We hope
Thank
so.
you.
We hope that's our wish.
Yeah.
You're welcome. The biggest problem with the knowledge seekers is the knowledge seekers themselves in sharing the knowledge and in a way betraying the foundation, when we always share. but we want to choose the time and the place. And these people break the, what you call the acceptance of the knowledge and sharing according to our way. And they think they're very clever and they can do it faster to do something else. And in a way, they find out they will leave the foundation in the research centers, because we have to have a place where we all trust and work for the betterment of humanity, not pinch and share. And this is one of the biggest problems with the work of the people who work in the research side, or we support to develop.
Surely their soul, Mr. Keshe, at some point will realize that you are giving to humanity. This is for a larger entity. This is for the totality of a soul of a planet. And surely those souls that are taking this information and using it in the wrong way will in themselves be enlightened at some point.
It's not usually out of thing, it's ego. Most of it is ego, that they have something the others don't have and they want to show themselves with it. And this is part of the problem of the foundation. And we try to understand the things and the way they are. We encourage the sharing of the knowledge, but when we choose and the way we want to, not when they try to do it. And we've seen it many times. And when they learn, they escape, or they think they do something with what they can now do it themselves. They find that they go nowhere much far. There is a point of view that many knowledge seekers will notice from this week on. Keshe Foundation has moved into the international arena in a very different way. We will bring the Keshe Foundation as a scientific and commercial organization in the public domain as of this week. So it's not anymore the Keshe Foundation website, but we'll span across the internet, and most of it has been done by our team in the background, all preparation for past few weeks. And as of this week, you will see Keshe Foundation very much, and then we push it to become one of the leading names in the world of science, technology, and equipment. It has started, as we explained in the American teaching this week. Keshe Foundation will not operate only through the Keshe Foundation website as of this week. Everything is done by the head of the Keshe Foundations. The ladies and the team, they have the people around them, are working hard to bring it. You will see the Keshe Foundation, by delivering its technology and its products, will bring people back into the foundation to understand the knowledge. We share the knowledge, we develop the technologies, and now we use the technologies to bring people to understand the knowledge and the ethos.
That's beautiful, Mr. Keshe. That you all the field interactions, all the souls that come to experience this technology, and sometimes they need to learn certain ways and become balanced so they can. And as you're sharing once more, you giving unconditionally to people that have taken in the wrong way, and then let them come back and be part of the totality again. That is such a new way for humanity to operate, and it is incredibly beautiful, and I thank you for that.
Thank you for all of it. You got to realize, in the recent past, I have found peace and happiness and a lot of understanding. And that, in a way, conveys and changes and translates into the teaching. Have we lost the screen by any chance? In the process of
No, it should still be there, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, thank you very much. In the process of past few recent months, as I have found peace and happiness, I share it with the rest of the knowledge seekers, and that's why the steps are going so fast in teaching. Maybe it was supposed to be the part of the cycle of the process, but in finding peace in the research centers and in life, and finding what I call contentment, we share easier and we develop faster. And I have found peace and a lot of joy, and that reflects in all the teachings and the way we share so fast the knowledge, and allows me to be back in the center to develop new technologies. We have developed vast amount of technologies, which literally we have to be able from now on to catch up to bring it out. And the head of the foundation's board ladies are trying to reorganize the whole foundation in a way to be able to meet the new, what we call the image of the Keshe Foundation internationally. We will not operate from the Keshe Foundation website anymore. We operate internationally, and the Keshe Foundation will become not just a teaching platform, but a bigger platform for space and what we call delivery of the technology to governments and to nations.
Mr. Keshe, I'd just like to say thank you to all the souls in the background that have done so much and been so...
Interaction and the fields of the interaction around the people around you.
Yes. Mr. Keshe, I think to use the PCR test, I have think to take a blood sample and put it in a plasma water, cup 1 and cup 2, and then after make the test with the PCR.
And then to prove that we can decontaminate a blood sample with plasma water. But this is something we don't claim anything. This has to be done by the authorities. This is what you have tested, and this is what we deliver technologies for governments to assess.
It's because here in the doctors don't allow to make the procedure with the patients. Then I think that I can prove that we can decontaminate a blood sample.
The position is with your country is the decision of your government, and the health authorities are to handle, and how to establish the necessary what do you call dimensions. In essence, is your responsibility to inform your governments of the availability and the presence of the knowledge and technology, and is for them to assess and develop or extend the knowledge to be shared. We are closely in touch with Brazilian government officials, the highest levels, and in a way we're trying to find a solution, because especially in your country, the teaching has now reached in a different public way in the churches and in other medias. It's been taught in part of your national, or what you call national TV, and is broadcasted freely. And your officials and your governments are fully aware of the work of the foundation in this respect. And we have spoken at the highest level in both governments, and we have to see your job is to spread the knowledge and delivery of the technology that the nation picks. As I said openly in the recent past, when you have one stacker unit in one house in the city, with the intention that is built, all those who are in the city, you have brought the change to, because this is a plasma field. And you will see the change. We've seen many people who have made ganses in block apartments. They've seen the change in all the neighbors. How the neighbors change, how the family changes. The ganses are invisible touch of the soul without the souls. But as I said, many of you in the recent teaching and the past teaching have created a massive energy field, which is reaching beyond your rooms, your libraries, your laboratories, or your kitchen. You reach the neighbor, you walk with it. You take the gans to another point and you spread it. If you made the gans at home and then you travel 20 kilometers and you spread the gans in a new position, the gans has a link, direct link to your home. So when you spray the ganses in that area and you have a connection, while you're making new ganses with the same material to spread in another part, you're connecting the city together. This is, as I always say, once you establish electromagnetic fields through the plasmatic fields, you can never cut it. In a way, one person in one city by spraying becomes this point. You spray this place this week, next place, the other place. You put it in your bag and you go to the hospital or you go to shopping, you spray it on your hand. You start establishing the links. This is what we have to see in a larger scale. We have to understand in the larger scale that in reality, we do not go for these things. We establish it unknowingly. As I said, I've used the sincerity of the knowledge seekers to spread the sincerity of the souls across the planet. If you remember, some 4 or 5 years ago, Chinese every Sunday spread the waters in pockets in the rivers and the cities. People in all parts of the world every Sunday they do. These are points of establishment. If you could send ganses from one country to another, from one place to another, and spray it, you create that dome. Because the link is established, you cannot break it. If you're gans producing in Brazil, send the ganses to China. Send your ganses to different part of United States and America, or whatever, wherever. You establish the links. This is the way we spread. This is partially what the Keshe Foundation manufacturing in China is doing. All the products you buy carry ganses which are made with the love of Shajin. If you knew the man, you'd give your life to have him next to you. And he produces, is the head of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing in China with so much love and care. And in a way, we are spreading and connecting all to China to one man. Nothing you receive passes nobody's hand except him. At the end, when the factory produces, he is the man who sees everything and is involved in all of it. And he's got such a gorgeous soul. You hear his voice, you feel his soul. And this is how we spread it. And when you see the knowledge seekers in the team in Austria, or when it was producing in United States, this done with so much love and care. And this is how we spread. We send goods to China. We receive goods from China. And with it comes the Keshe Foundation, what we call as to you as a retailer structure, is the way that we are establishing to cover this continent and this country and this nation and this whatever you call planet together. You got to realize you're doing your part, but as a whole, as a Keshe Foundation, as a manufacturing side, I know exactly what we are doing. When you enter the enhancement units, you have huge amount of gases which are made with a lot of love and care in their structure, in their work. And these are fields. If you take a magnet to one point of the world universe and is strong enough and with strength of connection with another magnet, as Einstein said, the funny things when you turn one, the other one turns. When the soul of the creator of the gas is so peaceful and so committed to peace and equality of the man, when you walk into the environment of the factories, you feel it. There's a lot of care put into, we just don't produce it. How it's produced, the way it's produced. When you look at the man who makes the gases in Austria, how much energy he puts on it to be correct, to be done. Because his intention is the same as the rest of us. Every single drop of the gas you receive in our systems from Austria, it's a lot of love and care has gone into it because it's the intention of the piece.
Si traduce. The religion caderanno perché loro propongono queste sorry, the religion they will fall down because they impose this come si può dire come they impose this rule, so she knows the religion they will fall down. Vai avanti.
La conoscenza teologica, cioè la conoscenza che mette ordine, che dà ordine alla creazione perché noi la si possa sperimentare, verrà, come dire, verrà sostituita da quella attuale.
Ma la conoscenza non ho capito, scusami.
Allora, la teologia è la scienza che parla di Dio o che fa parlare il creatore. Diciamo. Allora, lui, Mr. Keshe, sembra che dia nome alla creazione.
Sì.
Quindi è come, proprio diglielo così, è come se fosse teologia quello che insegna.
So because you give name to the creator, it's like if you give a name
alla creazione.
To the creator.
The the truth will come to mankind as they evolve in understanding the structure of their soul, the operation of their soul. Is not this happens to people, normal people. The religious people themselves become evolved, elevated, understand.
La verità, praticamente la verità avverrà quando l'anima incomincerà a imparare, quindi anche le religioni incominceranno anche loro a imparare.
And you'll find out that collectively mankind will walk this path together. Does not matter what clothes you wear.
E ha detto che collettivamente noi, la razza umana, camminerà insieme in questo cammino, indipendentemente da che vestiti tu indossi.
Quindi non ci sarà più la distinzione tra i vari saperi, le varie dottrine accademiche.
So will not be any more separation of different knowledge, different type of knowledge. Will not be that in the future.
No, it depends that we all have access to all knowledge.
Noi avremo accesso a tutto il sapere, tutti quanti avranno accesso a tutto il sapere.
In a way that the way we communicate on internet, we share knowledge very rapidly. Mankind will go the same way, but this time we receive the knowledge and enlightenments through our soul. Many
come noi usiamo il computer.
Carry on.
Usiamo il computer che sì, è come quando noi usiamo il computer che prende il sapere molto velocemente. La stessa cosa avrà fatta con l'anima. Quando ci saremo uniti con l'anima prenderemo il sapere molto velocemente. Yes, Mr. Keshe.
You got to realize.
Quindi non ci saranno più
What's she asking?
Yes, Mr. Keshe.
What was she asking?
Non ci saranno più solo campi d'amore in cui
They're not gonna be any more school, but just fields of unconditional love.
It's not a matter of school. You need to receive the knowledge. We go to school to be knowledgeable. Now, with access to the dimension of the soul of physicality, the way, for example, we receive the knowledge what not to eat and what to eat, and how we should walk through our genes, through our RNA, we now have the possibility to receive that knowledge, the knowledge of the universe through our soul, and pass it on to the dimension of physicality. The time of innovation and elevation of mankind, the true elevation of knowledge has started. Now we receive the knowledge from the universe. We'll produce systems and machines that we will enjoy using it, but not necessarily needing them. It'll be a pleasure to be in a physical dimension to enjoy them, will come to flourishing. Whatever mankind has created up to now, look at all that advancement in past 200 years. In the coming years, it'll be nothing compared to what we had. It'll be so advanced, it'll be so diverse, because not only we educate man, but we bring the knowledge of the universe that the man can convert it into tools and machines and things that it brings more pleasure to be the being. Not necessarily to sell or to commercialize, but for the others to enjoy. The true cycle of maturity of the man science has just started with a new understanding of the work of the universe. Whatever we've done up to now in physical life, all these computers, the cars or whatever, it'll be nothing compared to what is to come.
Ha detto che praticamente il nuovo proprio il vero sapere di spargere il sapere è appena iniziato, quindi non ci saranno più, prima andavi a scuola a imparare passo come passo quello che dovevi fare. Adesso tutti quanti avranno il sapere completo e quindi tutti quanti, come si può dire, ci sarà un modo completamente diverso per imparare. L'anima sarà completamente attaccata a questo sapere universale e quindi cambierà proprio il modo in cui noi, come noi impareremo. Spero che ho tradotto bene, spero. I try to translate what I understood of what you said, Mr. Keshe.
Can I ask you a question? Can you retranslate what she asked? Because we're getting a translation in the background, if it was correct in translation. That she says that the theology speaks about religion and the creator, where in Keshe Foundation we talk about creator and the creation.
Esatto, yeah, she do say that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she said that. So in a way, the answer to her question is very simple. The theology walks the path of mysticism and lack of knowledge.
Che il percorso della teologia fa un percorso di cose misteriose e di mancanza di sapere.
Where with the Keshe Foundation, we speak about the creator and creation through the knowledge of the science, and we can lead one to the other with certainty.
Invece la Keshe Foundation parla del sapere del creato e attraverso la scienza e lo porta alle persone. So from the
la teologia ti fa credere senza capire, mentre la Keshe Foundation ti fa capire per conoscere.
Ok, so ve lo dici ancora una volta che era bellissima? La teologia
Credere senza farti capire.
The theologists, they make you understand, no, they make you believe without understand.
Mentre la Keshe Foundation ti fa capire per conoscere.
The Keshe Foundation make you give the knowledge, make you to understand. Per capire, scusa, capire?
Per fare per conoscere.
Give you the knowledge to then experience the truth and know the truth.
In the theology, you follow another man's dream.
Nella teologia tu segui il sogno di qualcun altro.
You call the Christ.
Che noi chiamiamo Cristo.
In Keshe Foundation, you follow your own soul and the work of your own soul.
E nella Keshe Foundation tu segui la tua anima e il lavoro della tua anima. Sorry, Mr. Keshe.
Pardon?
No, lei ha detto bello, bellissimo. Wonderful, sorry, wonderful.
And this is why in theology and religion, they could make up anything. As you were not aware of the existence and operation of your own soul, people accept it. Now you are given a soul, you're given the tools to be able to confirm what you see, what you want, and there's no intermediary.
Prima loro ti potevano far chiedere quello che volevano perché non ti ha dato la conoscenza che mi sono persa. Mr. Keshe, basically, could you repeat? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, it's there. Translate.
Yeah, so lui ha detto che praticamente le religioni perché tu segui il sogno di un'altra persona, segui quello che loro ti dicono, no? Invece con la Keshe Foundation, la Keshe Foundation ti dice che tu hai l'anima dentro di te, tu sei quello che crea, e quindi ti insegna come seguire te stesso.
You see, there is a big difference between the Keshe Foundation and theologists and the religion.
Ha detto che c'è una grossa differenza tra i teologisti e la Keshe Foundation.
In theology and religion, they promise you that you have a soul and it's somewhere. But now,
nella teologia loro ti dicono che c'è l'anima, però non ti dicono dove. Ma adesso, sorry, Mr. Keshe.
with that, they create a fear in the life of the man
E con quello
to control the man.
E con quello loro creano la paura e controllano l'uomo.
And with the science and development of the new technology, you know where your soul is, and the only thing you got to be afraid of is the conduct of your physicality in respect to your soul.
E con la tecnologia, quello che ci sta facendo è che con la tecnologia adesso tu sai che l'anima è dentro di te e tu sai che adesso tu sei responsabile, e quindi tu sei responsabile della tua condotta.
Lui ha iniziato dicendo è il momento del giudizio.
She said, you starting this morning with it is a moment of judgment.
Yes, every day is a moment of judgment. Every act you do is got to be the moment of judgment.
Ogni giorno è un momento di giudizio e ogni atto che fai è un momento di giudizio.
And this is the difference between the religion and science.
E questa è la differenza tra religione e scienza.
In religion, you work with the theory of a dream. In science, you work with the facts on the table.
In quella religione tu lavori con teorie di sogni teorici, invece con la scienza tu lavori con fatti, con cose che stanno accadendo.
In religion, you live with the promise of the future. With the Keshe Foundation technology, you live with the facts of today in your hand, which you are the creator of.
Con la religione tu vivi con le promesse fatte per il futuro, invece con questa tecnologia tu vivi adesso con quello che tu fai.
This is the difference.
Questa è la differenza.
Grande, bellissimo, bellissimo, molto chiaro.
She said, beautiful, beautiful, very clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Come posso comprendere questa con la scienza Keshe?
How can I comprehend this with the science, with your science, the plasma Keshe?
You don't need to compare, because each
comprehend.
Each one lives within the other. Some of us have elevated, or some of us have found the strength, or some of us have found feel the strength to be able to travel beyond our physical dimension. And some of us have not. This is not that everyone will mature at the same time. And many humans do this trip. But the thing is, the only way you see about the future, when you actually arrive and you see that what you saw is there and is taking shape at the time of when you think you dreamt about it or you've been there. Otherwise, it's just a dream.
Ok, I think I understood. Miki, praticamente lui sta dicendo che noi viviamo uno dentro l'altro, viviamo insieme uno dentro l'altro, e quindi ci saranno persone che sono elevate, che magari sono arrivate a viaggiare in altri pianeti, ci sono altre persone che magari hanno avuto altre esperienze. Tutto dipende dall'evoluzione delle nostre anime e col fatto che noi viviamo uno dentro l'altro, diverse anime fanno esperienze diverse. Per quanto riguarda quando multidimensionalità, you meant, Mr. Keshe, because when you
No,
said
it's not mindful dimension. I mean, you're still asleep, you're still physically here, but your soul travels and you come back and call it a dream. We always lived in different, in many directions, not dimensions.
Ok, direction. Lui sta dicendo che no, è come quando dormi, il tuo corpo lo fa sempre, ogni notte, che l'anima va via e lascia la parte fisica qui. Però lui non le chiama multidimensioni, lui le chiama multidirezioni.
Ok, sì.
Mm-hmm. Sì, e Mr. Keshe, I didn't translate very well the last bit where you said...
You didn't translate all of it very well, but doesn't matter. That's
okay.
Stefan.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you very
Any
much.
other question?
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Qualcun altro? Qualcun
No,
altro? Qualcun altro?
Thank you very much, Stefania.
Grazie.
Can we give grazie? Grazie
Yes.
mille. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? We are reaching our past our 4-hour limit in today. Thank you very much, and I hope we open a channel for many of you to start understanding and start in a way to experiment with your sandbox. Many of you have, as I said, copied the cup of life in the 3 elements. The life of the man is made of the composites of element, condition, and fields. Man will only see the true strength of his soul when he makes a cup which bears all the elements of the universe which has made him up of. Then you might find a match. In a way, when you look at the cup of earth, magnetic gravitational field, the bottom cup, look at one thing. How many elements are within the structure of the soul of this planet? Have you got all of them within the structure that you expect the cup you made will carry the totality soul of the planet Earth? When you look at the other cup on the other end, when you see the cup of the soul, if you expect to be the cup of the soul of the man, how many elements has made to engage and encage the soul of the man? Do you have all of it in that cup? Then it's the expectation of what I call blindness to the knowledge. When you want to create the soul of the physicality of the man, how many elements is the body of the man made of? Do you have all of it within that cup? You come to one conclusion. In the coming time, many of you will understand what's the next step. The true essence of the creation of the soul of the man, or the soul of the physicality of the man, is to create the exact replication of the body and the soul of the man. The same proportion, the same understanding of the emotion. Then, when you stand in front of the cup and you interact, then you know in what position you are. In the coming times, in one of the teachings as well, in some times ago, I explained the true way to make the cup of life. But this is a sandbox. This is for you a figurative measure or tool to understand it. You cannot make the inertia of the position of the planet if you don't involve all the elements of that planet, that position. And even meter or 10 meter or 100 meter is a different composition. In a way, what I have taught you as a cup of life, as a cycle of life cups, these are all examples for you to become more aware of your own soul. But man needs to have something physical that understand. And in that form, I have brought you the cups. Where your finger, as I explained earlier, does the same thing, replicates and receives the same kind of field energies. As we said, you receive the field of yourself to understand, so does the one finger in the center to another, to recycle the process of the energies which is within the structure of the, what we call equator of the man, not the poles of the man. As you sleep, your equator becomes your pole. As you stand up, your poles changes to equator. And this conversion has been a success in maturity of the man, human race, to receive multitude and a mixture of the fields that has led to the maturity of the man in understanding his environment and soul. In so many ways, in so many ways, the knowledge of creation is within the structure of the created man. And in so many ways, when we speak about the soul of the man, we understand that the soul of the man itself, within the structure of the working of itself, has polarity and interacts with the dimension and direction of the soul of the man, the soul of the physicality of the man, and the soul of the others. In a way, today's teaching was to open your eyes to a new dimension in so many different ways, to the confirmation of the end, the day of judgment, in a way that you judge yourself and in how you see yourself to be in presence of the others, be it the soul of animal, the soul of another man, or the soul of the creator. And how do you shine in front of each? What is the color of the shine? And this is what is to make you think. And in a way, goes back to what I thought from the beginning. The last man standing is you who's standing judge and jury in front of your soul, and no one else. You are the last man, and not in front of the creator, but yourself. In conduct, in loving, and in behavior. In so many ways, the creation and the creator all have the same essence. In so many ways, man is the image of the creator as much as the creator is the image of the man. This we need to understand, but in the level of the soul and not in 2 feet and 2 arms. This is part of the teaching which we'll take further. Those of you who start making the composite ganses, composite cups, to bring it to the nearness of the structure of the physicality, you might need a cup the size of a swimming pool, that you place everything in the right place and position, that you get the right field. In a way, the cup of life is a symbolic of the life of the man and in what it needs to be done. In a way, when you give a cup of life to a man with a disease or with a virus, you elevate the soul of the man through the dimension of your soul. It's the gift of life you give, not the water they drink. And if the recipient to it, if they accept it with the soul, and they will understand it, and if it touches their soul, they devote their life to the cup, which is a cup of servitude. And that's all it is. In so many ways, we create souls to serve the universe, and not we create the souls to be, in a way, to be served by the universe. And this is where the man has gone wrong between the matter state and state of the soul. Try to listen to the teaching of today as many times as you can, because every time you listen, you'll find out the strength in the soul and the strength in understanding the totality and what you might have missed. But find in the passage of the path of the Creator, not by crying and shouting, but by him volunteering himself to serve. Serving your soul and no one else. Man, in a way, has to serve both the soul of physicality and soul of physicality to serve the soul of the man. Remember, man is
Mr.
born
Nikesh, last
out
question.
Excuse me, can you stop? Can you close outside, please? In so many ways, you have to understand that the creation and the Creator live within a man. The creation is the soul of physicality, and the soul of the man, the Creator. And for man to find peace and knowledge has to find a balance. There is no intermediary as the brain and the emotion, where one lives the same as the other. In so many ways, mankind has to be matured enough to understand this difference. And the purpose of the teachings from now on open platform is for you to start developing in science and technology, that with it, it brings you to understand the strength of your soul and be a guideline to the others or teach the others to achieve it. And as I said, we passed the time of ganses, but we have reached the time of the fields. And how do you create these fields? To reach the field, strength of the field of the soul of the man or yourself? Or have you become experienced enough that to be able to create the soul of a cat, a dog, and a stone, that they can receive elevation from your soul? That even in the physical direction we are different, but in essence, in the dimension of the soul, we are of the same level. And this is where the man matures, when see elevation of all to be the servitude to totality. And this is where the break has come, and this is where we separate from what we call theology and religion. Where science, with physical practicality, as a man likes to see everything in physicality, confirms to be in existence. Thank you very much for today, and I hope we have managed to open a new door into an insight, not only in the dimension of creation of the new system by you to reach the point of maturity of understanding your own soul, but at the same time, a way for you to understand how you can visualize and see the beauty of your creation enlightening on the others to shine, as the sun does on earth, and the beauty of its light shows on the planet Earth. This is your responsibility, and in a way, the only way for humanity and the rest of the creation to find elevation in the soul of the Creator. Thank you very much for today.
Dobiegliśmy do końca warsztatu. Tak więc, jeśli ktoś chciałby głos zabrać, to zapraszam. Nie mamy pytań, nie mamy wypowiedzi, tak więc na dzisiaj skończymy. Zapraszam w czwartek. Dzięki za przetłumaczenie. To były 438 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z niedzieli 7 lutego 2021 roku. Życzę dobrej nocy i do usłyszenia.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka. który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni. Nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.